Hi everybody, Lisa here again. I did put a video on this morning saying that Penny was going to have a little face trim and I was going to get it videoed. I've been waiting to have my cameraman here. He's been working all day, so that's my lovely husband who's cameraman. And as you can see, Penny's really chuffed about having her face trimmed. She's laid down on the table. But what I'm going to do, because I've had a few people contact me specifically about hairy faces, cockapoo faces, shih tzu faces, that sort of thing. And the only way I can really show you is through Penny. Now, Penny's face isn't too hairy at the moment, but I can kind of give you an idea on what to do at home. I'll try and keep it as realistic to home as well, because obviously we do have the tables, we have the restraints, and we have everything that keeps the dog still. That's your main problem. So your main issue is going to be that your dog stays still. As long as you get the handling right, you'll pretty much be able to do anything with them. But if your dog really doesn't like it and is really resistant, please don't force it. It's not to every dog's taste. They don't like it if they're not in the right surrounding. Obviously, some dogs have been coming to me for a long time, 10+ years, so they're used to the restraints, they're used to this environment. Suddenly you start coming at them with a pair of scissors, they might get a bit nervous. So the other thing I would say is try and put them up high, so on a table. Put a towel down on your table or something. If you've got a dining room table or whatever, just put a towel down, it's not going to hurt. And try and get the dog up to your level so that you're not looking down on them. Please don't do it on the floor, because once again, coming at a dog with a pair of scissors from above, it can suddenly look up and straight in the eye, so you don't want to lose your dog's eye. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is show you a bit of a quick way of doing it. If Penny will sit up, she's very tired, she went for a walk this afternoon. Sit up, darling, good girlie. So I'm not going to use any restraints, because I'm going to try and keep it, like I say, as close as what I can to what you would experience at home. So you want your brush, if you've got one, comb, and what I've done, I've actually picked up a small pair of, excuse me, a dog in my mouth, small pair of scissors that I use these for just finishing off feet and things. I never really use these for faces, but I've tried to find the closest thing that maybe you've got at home. So you may have some little nail scissors, you may have some, the best things to use are safety scissors with the bulldog nose. Don't go for kitchen scissors or anything like that. It'll not work, probably scare your dog. But so I'm using some little detailing scissors. What I would normally use on my face is my thinning scissors, which isn't something you've probably got at home. So I'm trying to keep it as real as I can. Okay. So when handling the face, what you really want to do is, don't be afraid. You can use the chin hair to hold your dog with your fingers underneath. That will not hurt. It'll keep them nice and secure. And you can also use the side of the face, the fur at the side, to also keep them secure. Again, it won't hurt, so don't worry. They're very resilient in that area. So the first thing, and you can also put your thumb on top of the nose as well to keep the head nice and still. So you want to just brush out the fur. You want it nice and straight if you can. Obviously with your curly coats and things, this is what you need. As you can see, Penny's a little bit lopsided because she's grown a bit since I last trimmed her. And as you can see, I'm just using that hair on the chin just to keep my control. So as you can see, she hasn't got an awful lot of hair, but use your comb to bring any of this hair forward, like so. If they've got any bits of sleep in there, just try and get that out. You know, just a nice bit of cotton wool wet and with some warm water will get it out just as good. Or simply use your thumbnail. Come across that quite a lot in my salon. So move it all forward. Now I like Penny to have a tash, so I'm just going to show you what to do. As I say, she hasn't got an awful lot of hair, but the hair on some of your dogs that may be sticking right out here. So just pull it forward away from the eye. So bring it away from the eye. That one. Take your little pair of scissors and literally just snip upwards. Little snips, nothing heavy, and then come down on the other side. You can go from the other side that way, but you're probably going to struggle to do that. And snip again. As you can see, Penny doesn't like having her face trimmed too much. Like that. And then if you do want to take any across the nose, again, just little snips. Just remember, this is just to keep them comfortable whilst I can't do it. It keeps them nice and comfy, keeps the hair out of the eyes, because you don't want hair in the eyes, it's bad for them. It can cause all sorts of problems if you've got hair going into eyes. So we've got as much hair off as we can. Again, go into here. So where you've got a bit, she's got a bit here, look, where she's had a bit of sleep and stuff. So pull it away. Pull it up with your fingers if needs be. And just snip it. Like that. Pull it there. And snip it. Penny's quite brown around that side because she's got a little bit of a blocked ear duct, bless her. So, as I say, I like Penny to have a round face. So, all I'm going to do now, just follow that shape around and just take a tiny bit off. You really, really, really don't need to take much at all. A lot of the time, with any kind of trimming, less is definitely more and it's more effective. So, if you're wanting to take a bit off of the sides, again, I do generally cut Penny a little bit different to this, so I'm just changing my way how I do Penny, just for your sake. Just literally follow the line of the chin and just take it round. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is easy. This is a simple way of doing it for you guys at home, because you're not professionals. It's not something you're going to be able to do perfectly straight away. Okay? And then this bit under here. So if you've got a bit of hair sticking down, you can see, we'll just pull that down with the comb. You can see she's got a little bit there, look, and her little beard might need a trim. So again, just lift up with your finger. You can always use your top of your nose there just to hold her, and just follow it round and get rid of it. And again, tiny little snips. Don't have to go daft, don't have to do it quick. You could even just do a bit one day and a bit the next if your dog's not liking it too much. But again, using your fingers on the top of the nose just to secure. And that's that. So that'll do, really. If your dog's got a bit of a fringe, you can pull the fur forward. Penny doesn't really have one, because if you want to take fur from the middle of the nose, the stop, you can pull it forward again with the comb. Again, I would be using thinning scissors for this, not blunt, not scissors, straight scissors, but just use the tip of the scissor just to take a little bit out at a time, like so. Give it a little blow. And then the head. So if you do want to shape a bit off the head, look, Penny's a little bit lopsided at the minute, look. Again, just holding that chin with the fingers, and my fingers underneath the chin just to keep it nice and secure. Doesn't hurt, looks worse than what it is. It's fine. Just follow the shape round. I'm just going to take a tiny bit off. If you need to take more off though, take it off. It's fine. Get the hair standing up. And where it just looks uneven, it's a bit like topiary really. Just take bits off where it looks uneven. Pull it forward again. But again, it's preference. If you do want to take your dog's head shorter, that's absolutely fine as well. You can do that. And in the ears as well. This is again an area where dogs get quite furry and quite hot. And I know a lot of people like me to take them short under there. So lift up the ear. And if you've got some hair here hanging down, again, there's not much because Penny's only recently had a trim. Just get rid of it, snip it around the ear hole as well, and just be really careful. Take it steady, nice and slow. This side as well. So I'm just combing that out. Good girl, Pen. And just up that bit there that sits just under the neck and the ear. This is the bit where they sweat, they get hot, and a bit off the actual ear hole as well around there. Can work that way as well to get the hair off the top of the head. And that's pretty much it. And that will last you. That will do you for a while. Obviously, you might want to do something with the body. I've had people asking me what are the best sort of clippers to buy for like your Cocker Spaniels, even dogs like this. If you go onto Amazon, there are some pet clippers on there that I've had a little read about, and they're fine just for pet trimming. I could recommend clippers that are really expensive, like what we use in the salon, but it's just not worth you wasting your money on that. So have a look on there. If there's any advice you want, send me a link on my Facebook page and I'll give you some advice on them and what you should be using and how you should be using it. But remember, if your dog doesn't like it, if they're resistant to it, please don't push it, because that'll make my job a lot difficult when they come back to me. The other thing though is just keep brushing. Good slicker brush. Keep brushing your dog and just brush things like the doodle breeds, the cockapoos and things. Brush them and just do a little pattern motion like this to brush them out. Get onto the undercoat. Lift it if you need to. Penny doesn't have much, but if you lift it and then pull it down, lift it, pull it down, you'll get right into the undercoat as well, because that's where your knots are. Your other areas where your knots are usually underneath the legs, or I call it the armpit. I know it's not, but that's what I call it. Inside of the legs as well, underneath, around the back end. The neck also can be quite knotty if you've been wearing a collar and lead. And also the tail. So make sure you're brushing. Just brush, brush, brush. And if you keep on top of your brushing and you're not confident enough to do any trimming, that will be absolutely fine. And that will keep your dog in some sort of good form, ready for me when they come back. Yes, they're going to be hairier. Yes, they're going to be fluffier. There's not a lot we can do about that right now. You've just got to try and make them as comfortable as you can. But like I say, if you do want to do any clipping on your dog or anything like that, and you've seen some clippers, you want some advice, drop me a message and I'm happy to help where I can. Believe me, if I could groom your dogs, I would be doing. I feel quite bad for them, because I know some of them will be well overdue by the time they come. But I hope that's helped you a little bit, just to give you an idea. If you've got any questions, like I say, even about that, what I've done with Penny, not a brilliant example, because I'll say her hair isn't very long on her face. I know some of you it will be hairier, a lot hairier. So just follow exactly what I did and you'll be absolutely fine. It's these areas in here. Remember to comb it away from the eye. Just keep away from the eyes and you should be absolutely fine. So that's it for today. I hope that's helped. What I'll probably do maybe tomorrow or the day after is look at showing you how to trim up maybe just your spaniel's feet, because I know that's something as well, that spaniel's feet can get quite hairy, quite fluffy. So I'll be showing you how to do that as well. But again, any questions, happy to help, happy to get you through until I get some hairy dogs in. That's what I'm expecting anyway. Thanks very much from me and Penny. Saying bye, Pen. You saying bye? Me? And we'll see you soon.